Happy Good Friday. We're talking about Final Fantasy VII, Valorant, and the PlayStation 5 controller. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Today is Friday, April 10th. Good Friday, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said in the intro, first things first, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I had an Xbox and Nintendo growing up. I never had a PlayStation until the PlayStation 4, so I'm not a huge fan of, or I haven't had the opportunity to play a bunch of the Sony exclusives, such as Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy series. I played 14 a little bit. I watched people play 15, but it's probably the extent of my knowledge of Final Fantasy. But I watched a couple reviews today. The 87 Metacritic. I read a couple reviews. I thought the 87 was kind of low, and so I went into the reviews to kind of see, and it seems like two of the reviews on Metacritic were like in the 60s, and that was due to like it felt childish to some reviewers, and then like they took something small in Final Fantasy VII and made it bigger than it needed to be. So some people were kind of complaining about the length. I don't quite understand that. You know, when a game developer takes something small and makes it bigger, that just means they're going to give you more and more game. I don't always understand that sentiment. But yeah, an 87 Metacritic. I think I'm going to get swirled up in this. I've seen a bunch of very emotional testimonials on Twitter, and so I'm probably going to pick this up as soon as I finish Doom. I think it might be the next game. And everyone always talks about how Final Fantasy VII is the best, is their favorite, and that's probably why they started with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And so I'm looking forward to actually getting into it. I don't have anything against Final Fantasy. I just haven't interacted with the IP at all. So I am looking forward to getting into it and having another game to play in the meantime. But let me know if you pick up Final Fantasy VII and what you think of it down below. Hopefully I have the right. I hope I enjoy it, even though I won't know I don't know a lot about the characters. Obviously, I'm a gamer and I know of the characters. Anyway, moving on to Valorant has had a big week this week. Valorant is Riot Games' new first-person shooter. It is a cross between Counter-Strike and Overwatch, and I think it looks like it's doing a good job of that. People are very interested in it. 1.7 million concurrent viewers on Twitch is actually the record for the most views on a single stream. And not all of that is organic. They are giving away closed beta keys within that Twitch stream. So that obviously is going to boost the number. And, you know, with all the stuff that's going on, that helps boost the number as well. So it's not quite apples to apples to the old Fortnite, black hole event. But still an impressive feat nonetheless. People are really interested in it. I think it's going to shake up the kind of first-person genre. It's definitely a twitchy shooter, very much going for the CSGO vein, but it still has a little bit of that character. I've seen a couple reviews on this as well that the guns and characters don't really live up to that like Overwatch level, but it still has that like that twitchy shooter. So the review I read made it sound like it's above CSGO for the CSGO fans, but it's below Overwatch for the Overwatch fans. So, yeah, but a lot of people are interested in it, and it's really starting off well. So hopefully that bodes well for the game in the future. Also, PlayStation 5 the PlayStation showed off their PlayStation 5 controller, and they're going for a bold new look with a white controller. We haven't seen the console yet, but we've seen the controller, so maybe the console is also going to be. So it has like a white shell. It looks a little bulkier than the DualShock 4. Yeah, it looks a little bulkier. Still somewhere between an Xbox controller and a PlayStation controller. It lights up under the bottom. Obviously, they're gonna have more LEDs because it makes everything flashy and nice. And then they have like a black kind of grip at the bottom, as well as the two thumbsticks still in the middle. I feel like I've never had an issue switching between PlayStation and Xbox controllers. Maybe I'm just controller agnostic. Heck, I used the Steam controller for a while. So so I was also caught up in the controllers, the off-put controllers or the same place controller debate that was going on Twitter. But white is a bold choice. Like I said, I think it's going to get dirty. My hands sweat a lot when I play video games, and so it could get dirty and grimy. I like a black exterior. A lot of what I own is black. Black is my favorite color, so I was kind of hoping for a black controller with some cool LEDs, but white's cool too. But I do think it will get dirty, and we won't know necessarily what it's like, what it feels like until we actually get hands-on. But it's a cool piece of information to get excited about this week for the next-gen consoles. Epic and Bad Robot, yes, the production company, J.J. Abrams' production company, talked a bit about their tag team video game adventure. It's called Spy Jinx. Great name. It's called Spy Jinx, and it looks like a strategy spy game with like some RPG elements. So it looked pretty interesting. We didn't get a lot of information. We just got a name for the game. We knew about this collab a long time ago, but now we've actually seen what the game looks like. I think it announced something about a closed beta, but I might be misremembering the article. And then it looks very Fortnite-y, and it kind of makes me question why they went the spy route for the most recent Fortnite season. So I'm wondering if they were trying out the art style. But the art style is very much in line with Fortnite if you're a fan of the Fortnite art style. So the game, and it's a strategy RPG, two of my favorite words when it comes to video games. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. E3 is finally canceled. People were debating whether or not this was going to happen. They knew that the convention itself was going to be nixed, but we were all holding out. I feel like the gaming community was collectively holding out hope for like a digital version of E3, and the ESA has come forward and said that's not going to happen. Whether or not publishers still do like a June thing, I think they will. Ubisoft, I think, just kind of is pretty good at like keeping it straight. But Bethesda canceled like last week, I think. I talked about that. So, but the ESA has already started talking about what next year's E3 will look like and how they'll get the ball rolling on that. Capcom is looking for feedback, considering they just released Resident Evil 3 in a survey to the fans, which I will link down below. They want to know whether or not they should continue to revitalize the Resident Evil series. 3 had kind of a mixed review, whereas 2 was really highly regarded, and I played halfway through it myself. I actually want to go back and finish that. And I might even give Resident Evil 3, if it's a short, bite-sized kind of experience, I'm willing to give that a try as well. 4, I believe, is when they start to go more action linear. I believe I played 4, and I think I played 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, and then I went back and played Resident Evil 2. So I remember playing 4, 5, and 6 in like college-ish or high school, and yeah, those ones always felt like more actiony, and that's why I really enjoyed the new ones, because they feel more tight-knit, first-person horror-y, or third-person in the case of Resident Evil 2. So yeah, if you want to give Capcom some feedback on whether or not they should continue to do Resident Evil remakes or maybe look at another IP, then let them know in the survey that I will link down below. Amazon's Colonial MMO New World, still think it's a very bland name, has been delayed. It was set to come out, I believe, at the end of June, maybe early June. Now been pushed back a couple months to the end of August, which is going to be right in line with the Madden release and then everything that's coming out in September. Avengers, Cyberpunk, sports titles. So they're gonna be in a tight-knit window, and it's always hard to buy media against Madden. Madden really takes over the world in August, so it's always hard to try and eke out your marketing. in the month of August. But hopefully, you know, Amazon's got the money, so they'll probably be able to make people know about it. And considering they're going for like a PC MMO audience, you know, people are going to know about it. But yeah, the game got delayed due to coronavirus, unfortunately. But on to some good news. Anybody with a Gmail account can get 2 free months of Google Stadia Pro. So if you have a Gmail account, I'll have a link down below. I was reading through the article. It sounds like you get more than one game besides Destiny 2. So if you have a Gmail account and you want to try out Stadia Pro, this is the perfect time to do it. I bought the Founders Pack edition back in October, I believe, or November, maybe. I don't remember. And I played it. The technology works great. I carry my Stadia controller around with me, and I can just pull it up on a Chrome browser and start playing Destiny. I never got really any glitches, but I also never saw the need to buy games on a different platform. If I have PC games I'm going to play on Steam, I have a huge Steam library. I'm going to play on my console games for consoles, so it really didn't pull me in. That was always my criticism of Stadia, but if you want to try it out and see what it's all about, and you have a Gmail account, then check it out. Logitech, one of my favorite peripheral manufacturers for gaming, has a customizable mouse that I definitely spent like 30-40 minutes trying to make my perfect Calc Soups mouse. So if you're really into customizing peripherals like I am, then this could be something for you. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to customize my peripherals. I have a skin on my PlayStation 4 controller. I just love all the customization that I can take a black controller, PlayStation 5, and then do what I want to it to dress it up. But I always like starting with that blank slate. But yeah, let me know if you got any designs. You can modify the left mouse click and the right mouse click. You can modify the area around the wheel. You can modify the butt, and then it's got 2 side buttons that you can also modify. So yeah, I couldn't quite level it up. It's also $140, which is steeper than I believe PlayStation or Xbox when they were doing the Design Your Own controller. I believe those were like $100. So this is even more expensive. It's just a mouse, but I'm looking to get a bigger and better PC, and I might just bundle this all in together to make it all my own. Borderlands, more specifically, Borderlands 3 is teaming up with science. Yes, so I watched a video this week about how Borderlands 3 now has a new mini game in it, and it's just like a simple puzzle, Tetris-like kind of game. But what you're doing is, or at least where science steps in, is that the scientists have there was just like DNA sequences that they're trying to use the computational power for, and then you're helping them by adding your computational power and by testing these RNA strains. It was all super mumbo jumbo-y, but yeah, so if you want to play an in-game game in Borderlands 3 to help scientists with DNA coding, that's what's happening this week. So I saw the trailer for that. There will be a link down below talking about Borderlands and science. And last but certainly not least, I'd be remiss if I did not talk about Fallout 76 and the new Wastelanders DLC trailer that we got this week. They started off with with some good music. It wasn't the ink spots, but definitely had some strong music, and it really shows that they're really bringing the world to life by adding more NPCs. I was okay back with 76, having just like finding the audio logs. It felt like a desolate, cold, post-apocalyptic world, and I kind of enjoyed being in that. But also having NPCs is very fun, and what people are mostly looking for when they're trying to play an open world RPG. So they struck a balance that worked for me but didn't work for a lot of people, but now they're fixing it with NPCs. So the Wastelanders trailer is out. There'll be a link down below, and I believe it comes out in the next couple weeks, even though I believe it has also been delayed by COVID. So yeah, so that was it. That's the news. That's the week in video game news. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this content. If you do, feel free to follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. Links down below in the description. Thanks again. Hope you have a super day. Hope you have a super good Friday. Hope you have a super weekend, and hope you have a super day. Stay healthy and safe. Bye.